Lately, the internet's been exploding with headlines about one thing: Justin Bieber. Everywhere you look, people are asking the same question: what's really happening with him? The rumors, the theories, the drama, it's all over the place. So picture this: it's 2 a.m. and curiosity kicks in hard. You start diving into article after article, post after post, trying to piece together what's real and what's just noise. Social media is spinning wild stories, painting Bieber as this lost superstar whose life is unraveling right before our eyes. And the wildest part? Everyone's got their own take on it, from die-hard fans to harsh critics. It feels like the entire internet's obsessed with decoding the rise and supposed fall of Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber crashing out because the truth of his childhood is about to come out. The amount of time Justin spent the night with Diddy. That boy is a victim.
The deeper I looked into it, the darker everything seemed to get. It wasn't just about fame or fortune anymore. It started feeling like there was something real and unsettling beneath the surface. The deeper the dive went, the more twisted and mysterious the story became. Almost like uncovering a hidden world behind all the flashing lights and picture-perfect smiles.
Highly sophisticated smear campaign by deep power players inside the music industry.
And somewhere in all this chaos, something clicked. It wasn't just about Justin Bieber anymore. This whole situation seemed way bigger and way deeper than anyone first thought. There's a web of connections, rumors, and powerful names, all tied up in one wild story that keeps pulling people in. Now, everything discussed here comes from public information, reports, and online discussions. No accusations, just breaking down how the media and public conversations might be shaping the story around Bieber. Viewer discretion is advised because things get intense. When you start digging through the noise, three main theories keep popping up about what might really be going on with Justin Bieber right now. And the first one, it's the Diddy connection.
Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream.
The rumors linking Justin Bieber to Diddy are by far the most explosive of them all. Everywhere online, people can't stop talking about it. And if you haven't been living under a rock, you've definitely heard whispers about the whole Diddy situation. It's one of those stories that's got everyone raising their eyebrows, wondering what's true and what's just wild internet talk.
Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, you know, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But
A certain video has been blowing up all over the internet lately, and people are dissecting every second of it. Every look, every word, every small movement, searching for clues that something darker might be going on. The theory making waves online goes like this. Usher, who helped launch Justin Bieber's career, supposedly introduced him to Diddy's circle. And Diddy, well, he's long been rumored to throw parties that are far from ordinary, the kind that spark endless questions and wild speculation.
Holmes allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs.
Doing all types of crazy things just because we want to have a good time.
According to online claims, Justin Bieber was reportedly around just 15 years old when he was first introduced to that scene. People online suggest he might have been exposed to a world way too grown up for someone that young, surrounded by celebrities, flashing lights, and situations that could easily overwhelm anyone, especially a teenager trying to navigate sudden fame.
And we gonna go full crazy.
going crazy.
Crazy.
Now comes theory 2, the money problems. This angle dives into whispers about financial struggles and behind-the-scenes tensions that might be hitting harder than fans realize. Some believe the pressure of fame, bad deals, and constant management shifts could have created major cracks in Bieber's world.
Justin Bieber just sold his music catalog for an estimated measly $200 million.
Even though Justin Bieber sold his entire music catalog in 2023 for a massive $200 million, rumors online claim that things might not be as perfect as they seem. Some people insist that the deal was way below what his catalog was actually worth, sparking talk that he might have sold it out of pure desperation. Others believe it could have been a quick move to cover deeper financial troubles that the public doesn't know about. A shocking twist for someone once seen as untouchable in the music game.
Why is Justin Bieber at such an early stage in his career selling off his catalog? And there were other people who were selling their catalogs, but they were all much older.
Reports have surfaced claiming that Justin Bieber supposedly owes his former manager, Scooter Braun, millions of dollars, and it's allegedly tied to canceled tour dates. People close to the situation suggest that when those shows were called off, the financial fallout was massive. Behind the polished image and luxury lifestyle, whispers say Bieber might have been juggling huge debts connected to those missed performances.
Justin Bieber says he is canceling the rest of his world tour.
When a global superstar like Justin Bieber cancels a massive world tour, it's not just about losing future ticket sales. The financial hit runs way deeper. There are already signed contracts, production crews, and booked venues that still need to be paid, even if the shows never happen. Those kinds of cancellations can cost millions before you even blink. And then there's Bieber's rumored lifestyle, the kind that burns through cash fast. We're talking private jets, luxury cars, high-end mansions, and a taste for the finest things money can buy. Add all that up, and it's easy to see how fast even a superstar's fortune can start slipping away.
Tour managers were saying, you guys are spending too much money. Can she take a smaller jet? And we're told, she said, absolutely not. That's the jet that Kylie has, and I'm not taking a lesser jet.
Owning multiple luxury properties, flying constantly, and living that high-end lifestyle can drain even a 9-figure fortune faster than anyone expects. And while Justin's reportedly facing these financial pressures, his wife Hailey Bieber has skyrocketed into billionaire status thanks to her Rhode beauty brand. Reports say the company landed a massive deal, boosting her net worth far beyond Justin's, and people online can't stop speculating about how that might have changed things between them. Some theories suggest that this sudden shift in wealth has completely flipped the power dynamic in their relationship. And that brings us to theory 3, the mental health crisis. And this is where things start getting truly dark.
This eye is not blinking.
Fans have noticed worrying signs, moments where one of Justin's eyes appears not to blink, sparking endless talk about his health. There are claims linking him to Ramsay-Hunt syndrome, possible lithium treatments, and even Lyme disease. Add in his recent posts about transactional relationships and people being convinced his marriage is on the edge, and it paints a seriously troubling picture.
You don't want to get all sexy with me?
Even though Justin has been honest about his struggles with substance abuse and his long road to sobriety, the internet never stops speculating. Every time a new photo surfaces where he looks tired or distant, people instantly jump to conclusions, claiming it's proof of a relapse. It's like no matter how much progress he makes, the public keeps watching for any tiny sign that something might be wrong.
I've abused my body in the past, and now I'm just in recovery process.
And here's what really matters. Nobody outside Justin's circle truly knows what's real and what's just rumor. But even if just a piece of what's being said holds truth, it's clear that Justin is going through something heavy. Fame, pressure, and constant public judgment can take a toll on anyone, no matter how rich or successful they are.
Man, I think that there was times where I was really suicidal.
He's only 30 years old, yet Justin Bieber has spent more than half his life under non-stop public attention. Every move, every expression, every post gets picked apart, all while he's reportedly dealing with real health struggles and endless rumors about his personal life. It's like he can't catch a break. Growing up in the spotlight has turned his private battles into public entertainment for millions to watch.
I don't care about people. Only money. Only money.
While digging through countless articles about Justin Bieber, one thing stood out, and it was honestly disappointing. Every single story, no matter how serious or emotional, was filed under one label: entertainment. Not music, not culture, not even human interest, just plain entertainment, meant to feed the public's obsession with celebrity drama. It's wild how the media turns someone's real struggles into clickbait. The constant chase for headlines has created a circus where paparazzi hound celebrities day and night, waiting for that one moment of weakness to turn into tomorrow's trending story. It's messy, invasive, and shows how little compassion fame can leave behind. These paparazzi and gossip outlets keep crossing the line, invading private lives, snapping photos at the worst times, and pushing people right to the edge. The non-stop pressure doesn't just cause stress. It can drive someone straight into a real mental health crisis. Watching it all unfold makes you wonder, shouldn't there be better ways to find entertainment than tearing down people who are clearly struggling just to keep it together?
Amid a media frenzy, the 26-year-old pop star was brought by ambulance to...
Britney Spears was just 17 years old when she exploded into worldwide fame. Practically overnight, she went from a small-town girl to one of the biggest pop stars on the planet. At an age when most people are still figuring out who they are, she was already living under flashing cameras, constant judgment, and unimaginable pressure.
I'm so happy right now, oh my goodness.
From the moment Britney Spears stepped into the spotlight, the pressure never stopped. Every part of her life was picked apart. The way she dressed, spoke, or even smiled was turned into a headline. The paparazzi chased her everywhere, shouting invasive questions with zero respect for her privacy. It wasn't just fame. It was a non-stop storm that followed her everywhere she went, leaving her barely any space to just breathe.
I'm just wondering how you feel about all the constant speculation about your virginity and whether you are a virgin or not.
I really wish I would have never said anything.
By the time 2007 rolled around, Britney Spears was just 25 years old, and the non-stop chaos had completely worn her down. The pressure from fame, the media's obsession, and the constant invasion of her privacy had pushed her to the breaking point. You could practically see her falling apart under the spotlight that refused to ever turn off.
Brittany, it's true about the hijab? It's true about the hijab, Brittany?
The head-shaving incident wasn't just a random breakdown like the media painted it to be. It was a desperate act by Britney Spears to take back control of her own body and her own image. After years of being picked apart and judged by everyone, that moment was her way of saying she was done being controlled. That now famous footage, recorded on February 21st, 2007, became one of the most unforgettable and misunderstood moments in pop culture history.
How are you doing? You doing okay? I'm concerned about you, though. Okay?
When Britney Spears finally snapped after being hounded non-stop by paparazzi, she grabbed an umbrella and struck a cameraman's car. A moment that instantly became tabloid gold. The media twisted the whole thing, labeling her as losing her mind, when in truth, she was just done being treated like public property. Imagine being followed everywhere, every single day, with flashing cameras in your face. Anyone would reach their limit. That moment wasn't madness. It was pure frustration from someone who had been pushed way too far.
Oh my God! Come on, this is your exercise. Jogging, jogging.
What came next was even more shocking. The conservatorship that took over Britney Spears' life lasted an unbelievable 13 years, which is actually longer than the entire span of her career before fame hit. For over a decade, every decision, from her finances to her freedom, was controlled by others. It was a real-life reminder of how fame can strip away a person's independence completely.
Father of Britney Spears has been formally suspended as the conservator of her estate, which he's managed for the last 13 years.
Under that conservatorship, Britney Spears' father controlled almost everything. Her money, her career decisions, and even her most personal choices. All of it was defended with the claim that she was unstable. But that entire image was shaped by the same kind of relentless media gossip and public speculation we're now seeing surround Justin Bieber. It's the same cycle. The media builds a narrative, the public eats it up, and the person at the center loses control of their own story.
Ever since we were kids, we've always wanted to dance or keep the time to the music. And that's part of us.
Michael Jackson started performing when he was only 5 years old, and by the time he reached adulthood, the cost of fame had caught up to him. He became isolated, paranoid, and reportedly battled addiction while the world watched. The same media that once praised him as a musical genius later turned around and tore him apart, analyzing every change in his appearance, every friendship, and every moment of his private life. It's like they built him up just to break him down for entertainment.
As he left, a photographer who was not part of the Jackson entourage attempted to take his picture, and a heated argument ensued.
It all starts to sound eerily familiar, doesn't it? Macaulay Culkin, the biggest child star of the 1990s, became a global sensation thanks to Home Alone. Practically overnight, he went from an ordinary kid to one of the most recognizable faces in Hollywood. But by his 20s, everything had changed. He was reportedly estranged from his parents, battling substance abuse issues, and decided to completely step away from the spotlight. For more than a decade, he disappeared from public life, trying to find peace away from the fame that once made him unstoppable.
When I first got a call from my manager to audition for the part, she asked if I could do an English accent.
Lindsay Lohan's story fits right into that same heartbreaking pattern. She went from being one of Disney's brightest stars to dominating tabloid headlines for all the wrong reasons: arrests, court appearances, and multiple trips to rehab. The constant media attention turned every mistake into front-page drama, making it nearly impossible for her to rebuild her career. It's the same cycle we've seen again and again. Young stars rise fast, get torn apart by fame, and then struggle to recover under the world's relentless spotlight.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Yeah,
I'm doing
no, I
very
know
well.
that, but how are you handling all this? Because it is really, I mean, the footage that you see of these people.
A 2024 study on former child actors revealed something deeply troubling. Many of them admitted to feeling empty and lost once the spotlight faded. After spending their entire childhood performing for the world, they often struggled to figure out who they were without the fame. Researchers noted that growing up in constant public view made it incredibly hard for them to trust people or form real, genuine connections. It's like fame gave them everything and then quietly took away their sense of self.
You're good. There's a lot of people, I think, that think that fame is this achievement that brings you fulfillment and happiness. And the truth is, there's this weight and this heaviness on you to achieve and to be something. People have these expectations of you. It's just a lot.
Most people watching this are well past 13 years old, right? Now imagine being that young and having millions of people judging your every move, every outfit, every word, every mistake. At that age, you're still figuring out who you are. But for someone like Justin Bieber, the whole world was watching that process unfold in real time. Of course, anyone in that position would struggle. It's too much pressure for anyone, let alone a kid growing up in front of cameras.
No one's ever grown up in the history of humanity like Justin Bieber. No one's ever been that famous worldwide in an era of social media, where every year of your adolescence, you are the most Googled person on the planet.
Experts say that this kind of constant pressure, the fame, the criticism, the lack of privacy, can literally rewire a developing brain. Growing up under that level of attention changes how someone thinks, reacts, and trusts people. It's not just emotional stress. It's a full-on neurological impact that can leave lasting effects well into adulthood.
When someone is 13 or 14 years old, we know that the brain is not yet ready to handle all the rigor that comes with being an entertainer, let alone somebody who's quite as famous as Justin.
Dr. Donna Rockwell, a respected child psychologist who has worked closely with former child stars, explained it perfectly. She said that even the most emotionally stable adult can struggle to handle the weight of fame, but for a child, it's on a completely different level. The attention, the expectations, and the loss of privacy can overwhelm a developing mind. According to her, fame doesn't just challenge kids, it shapes them in ways that can take years to fully understand.
I had no idea that this life would take me by storm. I had no idea that I would just get sucked up by all of this stuff.
It's not just about fame itself. It's the entire system built around it. The managers who see kids as walking paychecks instead of actual people. The parents who chase their own dreams through their children's success. The fans who think they deserve access to every part of a celebrity's life. And the media that profits off every breakdown and scandal. It's a cycle that feeds on young talent, using their pain as entertainment, while the world watches like it's just another show.
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you.
Justin Bieber's journey moved at lightning speed, discovered at just 13 years old, and by 16, he was already a global superstar. The fame hit him before he even had a chance to grow up, and soon after came the darker side of it all: substance abuse, pressure, and burnout. His story shows how quickly the spotlight can turn from a dream into a dangerous trap.
Waking up in the morning and the first thing I was doing is popping pills and smoking a blunt.
By the time Justin Bieber was just 19 years old, things had already spiraled into serious trouble, including a DUI arrest that made global headlines. What should have been the peak of his young career turned into a wake-up call seen around the world, showing just how fast fame can spin out of control when the pressure gets too real.
Last week, the singer was arrested in Miami for allegedly drag racing, driving under the influence, and resisting arrest, all misdemeanors.
But here's what makes it even more disturbing. We all know this pattern exists, yet the cycle keeps repeating because the world keeps feeding into it. The public loves the rise and fall of a star, even when it comes at the cost of someone's health and sanity. What we do know for sure, though, is that Justin Bieber was officially diagnosed with Lyme disease in 2020, a condition that deeply affected both his physical health and mental well-being.
Lyme disease is the fastest growing bacterial infection in the United States.
In 2022, Justin Bieber revealed that he had developed Ramsay-Hunt syndrome, a condition that caused partial facial paralysis and forced him to cancel several major tour dates. It wasn't just exhaustion or stress. This was a real, serious medical issue that completely changed his ability to perform. These weren't rumors or exaggerated headlines. These were confirmed, genuine health struggles that showed just how much his body and mind had been pushed over the years.
I decided to stop because I felt like I was dying.
Everyone already knows that Justin Bieber has been honest about his past battles with substance abuse. He's spoken publicly about the dark phases of his life, admitting how fame, pressure, and emotional pain drove him to make choices he later regretted. That kind of honesty is rare in the industry. It shows just how much he's fought to take back control of his life and move forward.
My security and stuff were coming into the room at night to check my pulse. People don't know how serious it got. It was legit crazy scary.
Yes, Justin Bieber did sell his entire music catalog for over $200 million back in 2023. That much is confirmed. But everything else, the Diddy allegations, the rumors of financial collapse, the marriage drama, it's all just speculation, gossip, and unverified chatter. Yet, like we saw in the Eminem story, this is what happens when celebrity obsession spirals out of control. And here's the uncomfortable truth. It almost doesn't matter whether those rumors are true or not, because the moment we start obsessing over every detail, analyzing his every move, and turning his life into a mystery for entertainment, we become part of the same toxic cycle. By treating Justin Bieber like a puzzle to solve or a headline to consume, we're feeding the exact same machine that's been breaking down young stars for decades.
It's like they don't give me permission to be upset. There's so many people every day who are in a conversation with their girl or their wife or their mom and they break down, but they don't have cameras capturing it, So people are like, is he okay? He's having a mental breakdown, and I'm just emotional.
So, could Justin Bieber end up as the next Britney Spears or Michael Jackson? Part of me feels like maybe we should just let him be. leave him alone and stop treating his life like public property. Who really cares what's happening with former teenage pop stars, right? But then again, maybe we should care. And that's exactly why this story matters. These aren't just entertainers. These are people who shape pop culture and influence entire generations. If the industry keeps feeding young stars into a system that profits off their breakdowns, then that's something worth talking about. Not for views or clicks, but to protect the next generation. Because if we keep brushing these stories off as just the price of fame, aren't we basically saying it's okay to sacrifice kids' mental health as long as we get new music and viral moments? Take Billie Eilish, for example. She skyrocketed to global fame almost overnight, just like Justin did years ago. And when Justin was asked about her rise, you could tell he genuinely cared. He didn't want her to face the same pain and isolation he once did. That moment showed something real. Someone who's been through the system, warning the next in line not to fall into the same trap.
Yeah, I definitely feel protective of her. It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn. And so I just kind of, let her do her thing. And if she ever needs me, I'm going to be here for her.
But then something completely unexpected happened. Just when the world was ready to count Justin Bieber out for good, he flipped the script. Out of nowhere, he made a move that shocked everyone and proved he wasn't done yet. The second half of 2025 turned into one of the most unpredictable and fascinating chapters of his entire career. It wasn't just a comeback. It felt like Bieber was rewriting his own story in a way nobody saw coming.
Justin Bieber just shocked fans with a surprise album drop.
Swag is the pop star's first studio album in 4 years. It is packed with 21 tracks, and it features guest appearances from a ton of artists.
Even though this was the first Justin Bieber album that didn't debut at #1, surprisingly, nobody really cared. The project, titled Swag, still pulled in the biggest streaming debut of his entire career. Fans and critics alike were shocked by how fresh and fearless the album felt. With Swag, Bieber dared to completely reinvent himself, blending introspective lyrics with genre-bending sounds and bold collaborations featuring artists like Gene and Mickey. He even took things a step further by including a series of raw spoken-word skits called therapy sessions, created alongside comedian. It wasn't the typical pop star move. It was personal, experimental, and proof that Bieber was evolving into something way deeper than anyone expected.
I have had to go through a lot of my struggles as a human, as all of us do really publicly.
Justin Bieber took the darkest, most painful parts of his story and transformed them into something real, something creative, strange, and surprisingly beautiful. It felt like he was no longer running from his past, but finally using it as fuel for his art. Then, on July 10th, he launched his very own fashion line called Skylark. And this wasn't your typical celebrity merch drop. It came with a full-blown vision, bright colors, bold designs, and pieces that actually looked high-end and original. Within just a few months, Skylark exploded, reportedly pulling in millions in revenue. But it wasn't just a fashion move. It was a smart business strategy. Bieber was clearly diversifying, making sure he didn't have to rely only on music anymore. That kind of move gave him freedom. Freedom to create music that wasn't about chasing charts or fitting into trends, but about expression and honesty. And honestly, that's exciting to see, because no matter what people say, Justin Bieber is an incredibly talented artist. He's not some industry creation or privileged insider. He built his empire through raw skill, determination, and resilience. By the end of 2025, he even started live streaming from his studio on Twitch, giving fans an unfiltered look into his creative process, a new era that felt refreshingly authentic.
Just like Elmo. The way I like, yo, whoop, 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 whoop.
He started sharing his entire creative process live and unfiltered. No marketing tricks, no fancy edits, just pure authenticity. Viewers got to see him brainstorming, recording, and experimenting in real time, completely raw and honest. It was surprisingly personal, almost like being invited straight into his mind while he built something new. For once, it wasn't about fame or image. It was just Justin Bieber, the artist, creating from the heart.
Cry on my shoulder whenever you need it.
In the end, Justin Bieber didn't just survive the chaos and pressure of Hollywood. He rose above it, completely on his own terms. After years of being defined by headlines, scandals, and speculation, he finally took control of his own narrative. It wasn't just a comeback, it was a transformation, proving that even after being pushed to the edge, he could rebuild himself stronger, smarter, and more independent than ever.
A sneak preview.
After years of addiction battles, relentless media chaos, paparazzi pressure, and complete burnout, Justin Bieber somehow managed to find his way back to himself. In the process, he didn't just reclaim his identity, He exposed the entire system that once built him up only to tear him down. His journey became more than just survival. It turned into a statement. And what's truly powerful is that today, he's managed to transform all that pain, scrutiny, and chaos into art. Every song, every project, and every move he makes now feels like a reflection of everything he's overcome. Proof that even after being broken by fame, he learned how to rebuild through creativity.
He came out on the other side of some really dark times, and that's why people are drawn to him, because he has a story to tell.
It might not be the flashiest or most polished comeback of 2025, but honestly, it's probably the realest. Justin Bieber's return wasn't about topping charts or chasing perfection. It was about something much deeper. This chapter of his life feels less like a musical comeback and more like a story of survival, reinvention, and most importantly, freedom. Freedom from the industry machine that shaped him, controlled him, and nearly broke him. Freedom to create on his own terms, to breathe, to just exist without constantly being picked apart. After everything he's endured, the pressure, the criticism, the burnout, it feels like Justin Bieber has finally earned that peace. And honestly, that might be his greatest achievement yet. If you thought this story was intense, just wait. The next one goes even deeper into a web of people you probably never knew were involved in stories like this. Go watch it right now and tell us what you think. It's full of shocking connections you don't want to miss. But before you click over, tell us in the comments. Do you think Justin Bieber truly escaped the system, or is the industry still pulling the strings behind the scenes?